especially on this side over here. Kind of your eye stopper. So you just put a little tap and then you take your brush and pull it sideways. And you're just trying to fool me. Let me know these are your trees. You don't need a lot of effort. Maybe skip the space so it's a little bit of interesting composition. And a tip or two here. Of course, your bear is going to be standing right in this area right here. Now, can you already see how this gray value against this light value now pushes these values way on back there? So look, see, this is what I mentioned last week. We may be adding values that we didn't have. That's value 1, 2, 3. Now we got value 4, value 5. Then when you come forward, you'll have one more value. So this painting is going to end up with about 6 value changes based on just adding other objects in the appropriate areas. So that's what makes it kind of fascinating. All right. Now, that being done, we need to do a little bit of construction work on our cliff. Go back to your number 2 bristle brush. And we'll take a little bit of blue and brown. And we don't want to lose this high country atmosphere. We want to get enough vegetation that it looks good, but at the same time, you know, we want to not lose what we came here to paint. So I'm going to put, now these are the little cliff, kind of like the front side here. You can have some small ones on the back side. So what I'm going to do here is put these little things up there like that, see these little cracks coming back in. Now, there's no sense in us doing a ton of work on this until we find out exactly where we're going to lay out our bear. Between sessions, this session and our next session, I will do that, folks. I'll go ahead and plan that so I'll know, because I really am 100% sure yet. See, if you want to go in there and get some little darker spots back in here and create some little cracks, this would be a time to do that. I like those in there. And I want to get this a little darker here. Remember last week that was a little wet, so it kept lightning on us. And even though the sun's coming this direction, we're probably going to highlight this anyway. You still need that little darker base. Okay, I think we're okay on this for now. Now let's switch to our, now we get a smaller chisel edge brush here. Let's go to the number, the 2 is too small. How about a 4? Or 6. And I got to find it here. I've got them all wrapped up. And most of you know that I like this little trick on your brushes, where you take your brushes and put them in a plastic bag. I know a lot of you, it's not because I'm lazy, because I'm really not. I work all the time. But when you're in the heat of battle and you're painting and you're tired, you're in a hurry because you got to get to do something else. Maybe you're going to paint the next day. Well, look, rinse them out, get the paint out, of course. And wet them, stick them in your bag, and just wrap them up in a little plastic bag, and they'll be fine for a day or 2. And keep them in there for extended periods of time. They're really saturated in water. You can cause problems for your brushes. But I never have any problems. But a lot of people that have written said, "Well, I did that, and all the paint's spilling off the handle or whatever." I want to clear the air on that one because that is caused by too much moisture that you've allowed to sit in the bag, and it hits down and breaks down the paint. The bonding to the surface. So you got to keep an eye on those kind of things. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back up here. I'm going to highlight the sun. Take a chisel edge brush. So take the white, a little touch of orange. In here. Dim it down. A little bit of gray. So that it's not just too strong. Here. Okay, now see, every time you have a little pull out here, that's where you're going to see the edge. Now, see, this is why I like this painting. It's not just about the grizzly bear. It's also about all of these things. You pull in like this. Take your finger and blur it just a little bit. See how you create the edge of the cliff that way? I like to take my finger and blur it just a little. Don't get in the habit, though. I'm going to warn you in advance of blending too much with your finger, because I'll guarantee you paint will get real smudgy and all your rocks and things will look like, baked potatoes. So you got to be a little careful. Now, there's this big one right here, and it comes out here. So let's identify it, and we'll have to come back and cap it better later. But this is how you get the front on it. So you pull back in. I'm going to put a little more of a gray tint in there, just to change the color some, so it's not just all that light color. And so you can still come in here and put other, see the little value changes then. This is a fascinating thing to do, to turn what you thought was a mess into something that really looks neat. Just by pulling sideways, blurring a little bit, see how the edges of your clips are in place? Voila, really cool. Now you can put a little better cap. Well, look, we better do the front ones too, I guess, a little bit, even though they may end up getting covered with some brush. I don't know yet. And we'll cap these now a little bit more effectively. And what I mean by that is we're going to make this top a little bit better. So let's go to the number 6 bristle brush. Go down here, back to the orange and white. Get it down on the gray side. Let your brush out. Okay, now this one especially needs a little better capping. Wipe some out. So we can kind of see the edge of the. Painting these clips are really fun, but they're hard. I have a lot of students try to do these, and they end up looking like just little, you stuck something flat on top of it. You got to be kind of careful. So when you do this, see, I pull over so it looks like it's bending over just a little bit. And I'm kind of scrubbing, kind of making the edges a little softer. And we're not after a phenomenal amount of detail here. So I'm not sure what we're going to do with this. I'm just trying to get the caps on. Then we decide if we want brush and sticks and logs and all that kind of thing in it. But see, that gives it just a little better look to the top. And this is what I'm challenging you to do between now and our next session, because we're about to run out of time as usual. And next week what we're going to do is we'll finish some intermediate, minor atmospheric things, details. Then I'll probably have my bear sketched in so that you all can see where it's going to go. And then you can get yours in there. We'll probably get everything else finally underpainted. And on the last session, it's be about a 4-session painting, we'll put all the little details to give this painting its dimensional effect and all the wonderful, exciting things. So I hope you're enjoying this. This has been a blast for me so far. Let's do a little more capping here. Once again, because the bear is going to stand here, there's no sense, folks, in going to the extreme on your caps, although it'd probably be a good idea back here where these pine trees are to cap in front of them. So see, it looks like they're actually behind that cliff. That's really important. You're going to raise that up a little bit because I want it to look like they're kind of going on the back side of that. And then just do a little bit of chunky work here. Down here, down here. So that'll be your job between now and our next session, is to get your cliff capped, get your pine trees in, get your waterfall in, and be ready to start the intermediate details to create this beautiful painting, king of his domain. And if you've ever seen one of these grizzly bears in person, and I have, you'll see why I named it that. They are absolutely awesome. Well, folks, as usual, we're going to have to go. I hope you've enjoyed this program. Can't wait to get here next week and show you what we're going to do next. So God bless you. Stay inspired. Keep painting. And I promise I'm going to see you right here real soon on another session of Paint This with Jerry Arnell. Right